Hi guys, this is George back here with another video and welcome to another news update where today we are going to be discussing Paultons Park's new announcement for what is going to be opening in 2026. So yesterday the park had their Superfans Day where they did some behind the scenes tours and also announced the future of the park. I wasn't there unfortunately because I did send an email to get onto it. However, they had run out of places by the time that I did, so I wasn't able to be part of that, unfortunately. However, I did watch the live stream on their YouTube channel, which they did for anyone who wasn't there to still be able to watch their announcement and the presentation that they did. And they announced that in 2026 they'll be opening a brand new Vikings themed area called Valgard. Now this looks really exciting. So of course they showed us some concept art and talked to us about the rides that are going to be in this area. So before I talk too much about it, I'll put the video on that the park released and we can talk all about this concept art that we have. So Valgard is going to be opening in 2026 in May, and at first it's going to be home to 3 different rides. So of course the main attraction in this area is going to be a Gerstlauer Eurofighter, which I will admit I was not expecting a Gerstlauer Eurofighter for this park. I was thinking it was going to be an Intamin family LSM coaster. Then the last couple of days there was before the announcement there was a lot of talk about Gerstlauer building the coaster, so I was thinking maybe it was going to be one of their like multi-launch family coasters, something like the one they've just opened at Wallaby, Belgium. I was expecting it to be something like that if it was going to be Gerstlauer, but no, they are going all in with a big thrill coaster here, a Gerstlauer Eurofighter with 2 inversions. It's going to be 75 feet tall, 2 inversions. It's going to be the tallest roller coaster that the park have ever built. It's also going to be their first coaster with inversions, which is extremely exciting. I was expecting this to maybe be like some kind of family thrill coaster, but no, this is like quite a big thrill coaster. This is a substantial ride going in right here, and of course it's going to interact with the coaster that's already in the area that's going to be getting rethemed, but I'll talk about that. So of course you've got the vertical lift hill on there, a beyond vertical drop, which is going to be fantastic, 2 inversions, a custom layout that looks like a good layout as well, to be honest. It looks like there's going to be a couple of airtime moments on there, not the longest of rides, however, to be honest, like they're fitting this into a decent amount of space. Like I love the interaction that you're going to get with the other coaster in the area. Talking of the other coaster, it's the coaster that's already there. So Cobra opened in 2006, a Gerstlauer bobsled coaster, and yeah, this was like the start. This was the first like big coaster at Paultons Park. This was when they started to put in a few more kind of thrilling coasters that were still catered to families. And this was a big investment for them back in 2006. This is going to be getting rethemed into Raven. So yeah, this is really exciting. We all knew this was going to be getting rethemed. We knew that they weren't going to be taking this coaster out. But yeah, I'm really glad that it's getting rethemed. There's been so much talk about this getting rethemed over the last few years. People have wanted it for so long because, of course, with areas like Lost Kingdom and Tornado Springs and Peppa Pig World, that other section of the park where Cobra is was looking really outdated and really bland compared to what the park have been doing in recent years. And now it's finally getting rethemed, and there's going to be lots of theming around it, and it's going to be part of this incredible and immersive themed area. Talking of the Gerstlauer Eurofighter as well, I didn't discuss the name for it. It's going to be called Drachen. So there we go. Quite a basic name there. However, I do like it. I think it works with what they're going for with this area. And I love the colour scheme that we're looking at for this as well. It looks fantastic. As well as that, we're going to be seeing a UK's first attraction in this area. And it's going to be an art engineering wild swing called Wild Swing. So yeah, there we go. A bit of a basic name. However, these look like really good fun rides. I haven't done one. However, one of the presenters on the presentation yesterday, they've been on one and they said they're really good rides. They do look really good fun. There's lots of them around Europe and I'm really looking forward to this opening at Paultons. I think it's going to be a great fit for them. Something not too thrilling, but a bit more thrilling than lots of their other flat rides. So I do think this is going to be really good fun and I really look forward to experiencing it. As well as that, there's going to be a restaurant in the area. There was a big building that's currently being constructed over on the site that I showed you in the construction update yesterday, and I said maybe that's going to be a restaurant. I'm imagining now that that's definitely going to be the restaurant, because we know that the station for the coaster is going to be next to Cobra or Raven, which it will be, and then the footers that we saw yesterday are going to be for the coaster, obviously. So of course, where it turns out the station up the vertical lift hill, drop down underneath Cobra or Raven, and then it's go up into its first element through the helix, like the helix first drop of Raven. So that's going to be really cool. And yeah, I imagine that other building is going to be the restaurant in there as well. In terms of some other news to talk about with other rides in this area, of course at the moment this area is home to two other rides, Magma and Edge. Now we haven't heard too much about these, however Magma is going to be leaving the park. We know it's going to be leaving the park, that has been confirmed. However, it's not leaving the UK. We don't know where it's going yet, however it's not leaving the UK, which is good because to be honest, it is a great ride. There are so many parks that could benefit from a ride like this in the UK. So yeah, it's good to see. Although it is quite sad seeing it leaving Paultons Park. And the last day to ride, that will be the 7th of September. That will be the same for Cobra as well in its current form. And also Edge, which is the other ride in this area, Zamperla Disco. We don't know what's going on with this. Apparently, I'm not 100% sure, but I have heard from people that were at the Superfans event, there's possibly getting relocated to somewhere else in the park. However, I haven't heard anything from the park actually confirming that yet. I've just heard it from people who were at the event saying that that might be happening. So it hasn't been confirmed yet as far as I'm concerned. But however, it does sound like it might be staying at the park, however, being relocated to somewhere else, whether it's maybe going to be rethemed into the area for further development in future years, or it's going to be relocated to another area of the park. To be honest, I don't really know where else they would fit something like that, like Tornado Springs. I don't think they're going to fit it in there because they're pretty limited for space in there now, considering you've got Peppa Pig World right next to that. Also, the entrance and Ghostly Manor are right on the other side of it, so I don't imagine it will be going in there. I doubt it will be going in Peppa Pig World. That's a bit of a big ride to go in Peppa Pig World. So maybe they'll keep it in Vikings and maybe, or in Valgard, and maybe have it as a future investment, or maybe they've got other plans for it. Who knows? But yeah, Magma will be leaving, which is a shame, to be honest. I was always thinking that was going to be rethemed to Lost, like maybe relocated into Lost Kingdom, because it already has some dinosaur theming. I thought it would have been a perfect fit if it was relocated into Lost Kingdom, but no, that's not going to be happening. It is going to be leaving the park. But that's everything we know so far about Valgard, that's going to be opening in 2026 at Paultons Park. However, after that announcement, they did also make another announcement, which is to do with 2027. We don't know loads about this, however, what we do know is that there is something else coming to Valgard in 2027, an expansion to the area. So before I talk about that, I'll play the announcement video that the park showed. So there we go, an expansion to Valgard is coming in 2027. Very exciting, and it looks almost certain, well, I would say absolutely certain, that it's going to be a water ride. And what water ride could it be? Well, a couple years ago, we did see Paultons Park looking at a water coaster. We saw it in some plans that they had released. We saw that they were clearly interested in getting a water coaster. So I think that's what this is going to be. It sounds like it might be a Mack water coaster. They've been working a lot with Mack recently. Of course, Storm Chaser, most recently Ghostly Manor. They have a very good relationship with Mack Rides. So maybe they'll use Mack Rides to build this new water coaster. But in terms of what if it's a different water ride, a log flume maybe. Mack Rides also do log flumes, so that could be a possibility. However, I do think that this is going to be a water coaster. I am 99.9999999% sure that it's going to be a water coaster. And that tiny little bit of percentage left over, I'd say log flume. But I am very confident that it's going to be a water coaster. Hopefully with a custom layout. We've seen Mack Rides making some amazing water coasters recently. The one in France, I can't remember what park it's at. Le Pal, that's it. It's at Le Pal. That one looks really interesting. That's one of their most recent ones. That looks like a great layout. So maybe we could be seeing something like that coming to Valgard in 2027, which is really exciting. Talking about this as well, when I was talking about Edge potentially being somewhere else in the park, who knows, maybe this, and talking about like maybe they'll use it as future expansion for Valgard. Maybe they'll move it somewhere else in the area of Valgard and open it as part of 2027's investment, maybe like next to the water coaster, if it is a water coaster, maybe like have the two interacting with each other or something. I don't know. I do think the chances of it staying where it is are pretty unlikely. I imagine if they're going to go to the effort of relocating it, they're going to put it in a different area. However, we will find out at some point in the future. Of course, Paultons Park are pretty good with sharing all the information with us. They've just made this massive announcement yesterday for a year's time, basically, and even now a hint to what's coming in 2027. So yeah, really exciting, really bright future for Paultons Park. There's going to be lots to look forward to with Valgard. It's going to be a fantastic area. Their most immersive their most immersive area themed to date. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to the themed area of Valgard, the realm of the Vikings, that is going to be opening at Paultons Park in 2026. But that's now the end of this video here. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure to follow me on Instagram at George Kelly and follow me on Twitter at George Kelly. Thank you very much for watching. Stay safe everyone, and I will see you all later. Bye!